Okay, well, he denied me 3 draw triggers, so that kind of sucks. Really annoying, but whatever. That's the downside of playing MTGO, is you can surrender at instant speed and deny triggers like that. Hey everyone, welcome to Commander Pop Culture. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe so you'll be notified of future content. Alrighty folks, I got an exciting game for y'all today. One of my all-time favorite commanders just got re-released in the newest set of March of the Machine. It goes by the name of Yedaro. I've been anticipating a reprint and waiting patiently ever since, I think it was the Commander 2020 products, when Yidaro was first printed in the Commander set. And it was really tough to get a copy because they don't print Commander sets on MTGO at all ever since Commander 2016. Cards that are unique to those products, they've been released in like chests. They're like little gifts for doing well in the events or whatever, and getting play points that way. This is a good hand. I got a Soul Ring, an Emerald Medallion, 3 lands, and a Toski, so, as well as Sylvan Safekeeper. If you're new to this channel, I tend to skip over land drops and mana rocks. I assure you, you're not missing anything. It's just not that very entertaining. I'll also be splicing in fun little movie clips and television stuff that's relevant to the game and my commander. That's the theme of the channel. I made a new thumbnail. I got that set up, and I'm pretty excited to feature that as well. I'd like to special thank my dad for helping me out with that, because I just gave him the idea and he hooked me up. He's a graphic designer as a professional and took the time out of his day to set me up with something nice. So thanks again, Dad. See what we're playing against. Playing against Kogla and Yedaro, Naomi, Pillar of Order, Jegantha. I haven't played against the first 2 commanders, so this should be a unique and fun experience. And this is only the second time I've played this deck on MTGO, but this deck is very well tested and one of my all-time favorites. I've been playing Yidaro ever since he came out, and it's one of the decks I've built that's withstood the test of time, that never gets old to play. So if you're looking for something unique with a lot of cool cards that you normally don't ever get to see, Yidaro features a ton of them, because the whole point of your deck is to turn your lands into creatures and then loop them with a sack outlet. What happens when a non-token creatures of yours die? They get turned into a forest, and that's why turning forests into creatures is so great, because you just loop them back in and out of your graveyard over and over again. The Soul Ring and the Emerald, and go from there. And I don't have the pleasure of playing with these 3 players before, so thank you for joining me. Kogla's got one of 2 abilities on ETB, either fight something or against trample and haste on a turn, or they could discard from their hand to destroy 1 artifact or enchantment and shuffle them into the library to draw a card. I like how some of the partners from the March of the Machine set, they really captured the essence of both in the single card. I'm glad that they made the effort. And I've never played against Naomi before. Whenever it enters or attacks, they control an artifact / enchantment. They get a 2/2 samurai. And Jegantha is the Wooburg Tap King. I don't know if this is a true Tim deck, but that'd be cool. I haven't played against the Tim deck with Jegantha. I know they exist, and that he's one of the more popular commanders, because you have access to all the good ones. Or this could be just one giant Wooburg pile where everything has those symbols, and he effectively dodges the cost of 1 spell with Jegantha's ability. I named Tree Folk with my Cavern of Souls, so it can't be countered because this guy's got blue mana up. I could play my commander here, but I think I'd rather lead off with Toski because I don't really have anything else better to do. And I want some cards. Who doesn't want cards? If I had more creatures in play, I'd play my commander for the sacrifice piece. Wonder what the blue player is about to do here. Can't be countered. I think on my next turn, I'll play Sylvan Safekeeper for green and then use my Cavern and my colorless mana to cast Yedaro. Distinctly said that I'm playing a 9. It's not quite CEH because I'm in mono green, but it's pretty darn strong. You could hang with the CDH people. It's not that consistent. Like if I was to give something a 10, I'd be playing multiple colors, including blue and black. But this deck does close out games. I would have liked the birds, but I guess I'll give that up. I feel like Evolutionary Leap's too good to let go. And the Sylvan Safekeeper protection will be nice for the whatever action the blue players got for me. Or maybe it'll stave them off from using it against me. Certain sack outlets win me the game, right? Alter Dementia, I can mill people out to death once I animate all my creatures or all my lands into creatures. Or if I get Blasting Station, then I ping everyone to death. The other way I could win is I get my Ambush Commander, and if I have infinite mana, I could pump my attackers into lethal and punch people that way. So 3 ways to win, all involving looping cards in my graveyard. The crux of this deck being stuff like Rest in Peace or the Black Leyline, hard to deal with. Dryad Arbor. I'll lead off with Sylvan Safekeeper, get my card draw, replenish what I lost from the Virus Beetle. My next turn, I'll play the Dryad Arbor and Evolutionary Leap. Unfortunately, I won't have any mana to activate it, so maybe I'll go Leap in Snow-Covered Forest just so I can get 1 activation out of it. But if I want to avoid tempo loss, just get it over with, I should play the Dryad Arbor. It's a little hard for me to decide, so we'll see what these people do for me before I decide on anything. Sylvan Safekeeper is a nice sack outlet in that I can give my combo pieces Shroud. Way I could win with Sylvan Safekeepers if I have a way to cantrip off a creature coming into play, like Great Henge or Soul of the Harvest will get me there, and then I can draw my deck. I call this deck Soylent Green. It's from an old movie that's basically the world's a dystopia, and there's this revolutionary discovery for food to feed the world's population, and nobody knows what it is. And the plot twist at the end of the movie is that
Soylent Green is people!
And Yedaro the Grave Gardener kind of turns all of your creatures into nice fertilizer. I think in this art in particular, he's like huddled over a little sapling.
Living in a van down by the river!
It's a little fitting. In nature, nothing goes to waste. Kind of like that philosophy in life. I guess aside from the movie, I know what exactly I'm consuming, so I guess there's no plot twist. People know exactly what I'm eating. I guess the only scenario where people don't know is when I play Morph Creatures, which is the secret tech of this deck that usually gets the awe of most people and catches their eyes, because Morph doesn't care what permanent it is. It only says flip it over. So even if it's a land, I could flip it back over and get whatever effect. So like I run 3 Morph Creatures. One's Den Protector, which lets me do a Eternal Witness effect, and then the other 2 blow up an artifact or enchantment. It's like Nantucket Vigilante and Antioch Survivalist. What on earth is this? Mana Cannons? Dang. Does damage to any target. Well, guess I'm going his way. If you just plink off my board. Since he could just kill my Dryad, oh, he'll come back. But I want the activation should he target something of mine. So I'll play the Snow-Covered Forest this turn. Who knows, maybe we'll get another spell that will garner my interest. Today I'm going to see 3 cards here. Out of everyone here, I think I have the most to lose from this enchantment in play based on everyone else's board states. So I just assume Nick will understand. Okay, well, he denied me 3 draw triggers, so that kind of sucks. Really annoying, but whatever. That's the downside of playing MTGO, is you can surrender at instant speed and deny triggers like that. Silverback Elder, whenever they cast a creature, gets one of 3 things: gain 4 life, destroy artifact or enchantment, or the top 5 of their library to put a land from among them onto the battlefield tapped. The rest on the bottom in random order. 5 drops or just get crowded, and I end up cutting this card, but I've always wanted to play it. Drew my Blasting Station, which means eventually I can do some crazy stuff. I think I'm gonna go to combat and attack first and see what I draw. He'll probably just block this Virus Beetle, but I'll get to see a card. Surrak and Goreclaw, that's a sweet draw. Do you have enough mana to play it? Question is, do I want to play into it? Because he will fight it with Kogla. It's a prime target for sure. Blasting Station for now. We'll keep playing a little patiently. Interesting. This is an ape tribal, monkey tribal deck. The reason why I run Surrak and Goreclaw is it haste enables my creatures. When I'm looping my lands and their creatures, they suffer summoning sickness, so I can't tap them once I sack them. But if I have a haste enabler, I circumvent that problem and those creatures pay for themselves and I can make infinite mana. So I run a couple of them. Granted, it's 6 mana to get what I want, but there's other things about this card that's nice too, like 6/5 body and gives all my creatures trample as well. And it puts counters on my smaller ones. Could be a lot worse, but it's a lot better on the surface than what people probably will overlook, the fact that it gives haste. Alright, we're gonna play Goreclaw. My Dryad Arbor gets haste enabled, so that's nice. Hooting Mandrills. Monkeying around over there. I'll shoot this off with the Dryad Arbor. Great Henge is nice. Still in that predicament of finding more cards. I wonder if he's willing to trade any of his creatures away after this. I suspect he's not willing to trade. He'll just take his 6. Oh, alright. I was not expecting him to block. He's got some kind of combat trick. Arbor Elf's not exciting. I might just go down the line here and cast it and sack it immediately. She kept doing the evolutionary thing. It's an ape shaman that can destroy my stuff. Take away the Emerald Medallion.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Wasn't doing much for me anyways. I got plenty of mana now. I do value my blasting station. I don't know if he's willing to dump 7 mana into blowing it up. Ooh. Tap one of my stuff down. I don't want to trade off my Sylvan Safekeeper, so take my 7. Get my 2 life, and I think my Toski's pretty useless at this point, so we'll see what else I can find. Once boards are so insane right now. Great F. I have nothing else better to do, so why not? This is nice. More card draw power. Hang back and see what happens. I should probably take out this thing over here, this Gorilla Shaman, so I don't lose my blasting station. This could be worse. I'm seeing more cards than everybody else. One at a time. Oh, okay. Gives trample 2. Swing that at my Nissa. I'll let that go. I would have liked to have kept that, but that's how the cookie crumbles. I'd rather block this this Voltron guy over here. Anyways, whole little artifact. Gets to draw 2 cards. Yeah. We're all looking for some card advantage. It's a very long game. Set a stop on damage. So I get to sack it to my Evolutionary Leap. You find some cards. Did the Jedi mind trick on them.
He can go about his business.
You can go about your business.
Move along.
Move along.
Signify is nice, but fortunately his commander's got that on him, so we're gonna go down the road here and see what I could find. There we go. Beast Thin. Better than nothing. Can take away a piece, but we're right back to where we left off. Oh, I could take away the thing that's tapping down my stuff. That's been a bit of a pill this game. Ooh, Kurion Ranger. Now I could bounce something back to my hand. I think I want cheap creatures, so I can keep stringing stuff together. Can only do it once a turn, but to see more cards doing it this way. Hey, now I get to show you the tech some fun action here. Tooth and Nail. I put 2 creatures in play. I think I'll just close out the game. Ambush Commander. We'll do Tyler's Provisioner. Do damage, sack a creature, comes back as a 4 stealth. I do have to blow up my own Great Henge, but I want to have a fat group of cards before I blow it up. If he wants to play it out, we'll play it out. I don't mind. It's the ultimate insult, he says.
The cycle of life and death continues. We will live, they will die.
I'll just do this until I can make enough mana to pump my dudes up to a lethal attack. That's the downside of doing this on here is I have to manually click these. I can't just shortcut it in paper, which is the nice parts about playing a combo deck. And also, I guess the nicety about this combo is I don't care about the layer of triggers. Most combo decks you do care. People are curious what's happening. I sack a creature with Blasting Station, and then the creature comes back as a elf land. This guy's pretty upset in the chat. Alright, let's go to combat and see how he blocks. And And there we go. Turn my lands into creatures. So I use things like Living Plane, Living Lands, Life and Limb, and I got a few I got 2 creatures that do it too. I got Ambush Commander and Embodiment of Insight. You need permanence to turn your lands into creatures, because if you do it with a spell, when you reanimate your creature into a land, it doesn't come back as a creature, so temporary spells don't work. I have these cantripping permanents for creatures in play, just so if I can find the sacrifice outlet that matters. So the sacrifice outlets that matter are the Altar of Dementia and the Blasting Station. If I need infinite mana so I can get a lethal attacker in with Ambush Commander, then I get those infinite mana from Earthcraft, Lotus Cobra, then you can make infinite mana with Phyrexian Altar too. The non-combo, non-tutoring pieces is just anything that's value on a stick is valuable because they turn into lands. So like I purposely run Voice of Many over things like Harmonize because of the utility. The morph creatures that are awesome because it happens instantaneously. It's one of those things that's so fast there's nothing you can do. Once you flip it over, the trigger goes on the stack, and you could do things with it on the stack, but you can't prevent the morph creature from flipping over once it's happened. The gun has fired and the bullet's flying through the air, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I got some fun little bounce synergies in here too. So I got the Quarian Ranger, which lets you return a forest, i.e. one of my creatures that I flipped over, back to my hand to untap a creature. I don't really care about the untapping thing, but you never know when that comes in handy. It's the bouncing the forest back to your hand that's really sweet. Same with the Scrib Ranger, does the same thing. Only thing that sucks is that you can only activate them once a turn, but in a full revolution of table, that's four permanents back in your hand to recast. And then Cloudstone Curio pulls double duty. It triggers on ETBs of lands, which most people don't think about abusing when they play Cloudstone. It's usually just for everything else that's not an artifact, but I use it for just bouncing my lands back in my hand and getting my cards back if I should need the utility. Yeah, this deck has a lot of ways to win. If the sacrifice plan doesn't work out, you get the Crater Hoof to close out games. The other nice thing about my favorite man land kind of effects is Living Plane, because it affects everybody. It keeps people off of board wipes, because if they board wipe, you will get all your all your lands back, while everyone else will lose all of theirs. That option to interact with you goes off the table, and you leave a lot of people with dead cards in their hand. That's why I like Living Plane so much. It's great for that. And it's also a bit of a stacks piece, because everything suffers from summoning sickness, including your lands at that point. That's the deck. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll post this up with my new thumbnail. Looking forward to showing off. Have a good night. Bye.